Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Let's get into your choice. Hello, Scorpio! Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? I'm so excited about this reading, and I have no idea why. That's no, it's very interesting. You got a lot of Earth coming in on your terms. All right. Earth, Scorpio is compatible with Earth to a point. If it's too limiting, that can be a problem for Scorpio. But otherwise, Scorpio can roll with that energy. And you know what you want. You just have walked away from it for a little while. You know what you want, but you did walk away from it for a little while. Are you returning to it now, maybe? Something might have aggravated you or made you unhappy. You got the Devil card there. I view the Devil card as like boundaries and typically restriction within reason. Also, the Devil can have like a very harsh repercussion energy for people who overstep boundaries. The Devil energy is with you. It's a compatible energy because it's like Scorpio will only put up with so much, if you follow me. You're a Scorpio, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I mean by that. Only put up with so much. Can take a lot, but once we get across the little edge there, it's kind of like, the energy is good for you here because even though you stepped away from it, there's a reason you stepped away from it. And it may be one of these things where you thought, you know what, that's just not for me. But you do have the right to change your mind, clearly. I feel like Scorpio is one of the stronger signs when it comes to that. You have the complete right to change your mind when you see fit. So if you walked away from something, could have been 10 years ago, but you're like, you know what, I've decided I'm going to reevaluate that. Scorpio seems to be more in alignment with like, if you decide you're going to reevaluate it, then you're going to reevaluate it because you decided you wanted to. You do have the right to change your mind. Clearly all of us do. The reason I'm bringing that forward is like, I feel like Scorpio's on board with that more than most. So you are reevaluating something you previously walked away from. Does it mean you're going to do anything? It doesn't mean you're going to do anything other than look at it because you've decided you want to. And that's fine. But I also get that, like, this is a moment where it's like, if I'm going to come back into it, maybe now is the most opportune time to come back into it if I decide to. That's Scorpio energy. Opportunity is starting to show up here with the Star card. It's kind of like something's coming back around. I would also say for Scorpio, I don't see Scorpio repeating the same thing over again, but like there's significant changes here. So something might have evolved or gone into a different level that it previously wasn't at. So like it reminds me of like when you date somebody in high school versus when you come back around and maybe you date them again in their 30s. People change. I don't want to say they change. I feel like people become more of who they are over time. And you're like, when you know somebody in their teenage years, they may not have fully developed into the person they actually could be. And then when you come back around later, it's kind of like, wow, look at that. They actually made good on some things that I thought were good, and they've moved on from some behaviors that were not serving them. It's kind of like a development issue. If things have developed differently, or it's like circumstances have changed, certain stuff like that. You might have changed. You may have developed in a way that you weren't developed before. You may look at things differently than you did before. things have changed here and opportunities coming back around, seeing things differently. There's definitely a moment of evolution here. When I say you walked away from something, it's not like you walked away from it last week and you're coming back this week. It feels more like there's been more distance between the walk away. It might have been a couple years ago. I would say more than a couple years ago for most of you. Maybe a few months, but mostly a few years ago. You are heavily considering what you want from the situation. You may even test it a little. How are you testing it? I don't know. I guess that's up to you. What do we mean by test it? Excuse me. You got the Magician. Excuse me. I don't know what that means. I mean, you're Scorpio. I know that, but still, you may end up testing it. I don't feel bad about that. Whatever feels appropriate to you. I do feel like you may test it a little bit to see, like, is that real, or do I just want that to be real? Is that really what happened there, or do I just want that to be what happened there? You do seem to be testing it. I don't feel bad about that. And I do see, like, you are holding back a little bit, but also testing the situation at the same time. At this point, you do seem very carefully active. Very carefully active in the situation. Is this really better? Does this really make sense? Do I really think that this is a good idea to come back to? Is there anything else with this part before we go into this next thing here? Because it's good, but... You may want... Who do you trust to tell you the truth? That's the point. That's the point. We're going to get right to that. Who do you trust to tell you the truth? Not be nice to you. Like, we don't want anybody being mean to you, don't get me wrong. But who do you trust to tell you, like, this is what's really going on here, Scorpio? Not somebody who's going to be like, well, Scorpio, you know, I know your best intent is there, and you're seeing good things here, and I feel like you'll make the best decision. You don't want that energy. That's a good energy for you. Like, you want supporters. Supporters are good. We're not, like, bashing supporters. But, like, you're looking for that person that's, like, honest with you, but it's going to tell you something. If there's something there you're not going to like, they will tell you. This is that point. Because I'm getting, like, it's going to start to look a little bit, like, alluring and questionable still. It's kind of like, I don't know. Is that real? I don't know. Looks good, but might not be good. I think it could be good, but it might not be good. And there's this real weird, it feels like a they call it moon warbles, where it's just kind of like it's a little off, but it's a little on at the same time. The energy's getting a little higher, but it's like good and bad at the same time. It's very alluring. It's very spider to the fly, and it kind of feels that way. It's kind of like, oh, I really want to do that, but I think this is a trap. Wait a minute. The star card came on the dice, and it's coming here on the cards. You want that person who's going to give you a little bit of a hard time. Not somebody who's going to be mean to you. Well, I don't think anyway, but like somebody who you believe will tell you the truth and give you a little bit of a hard time. A little bit of a hard time. Like, hopefully they don't drive you cuckoo crazy, but, you know, whatever. We're looking for that person where you can bounce this off of. That person who you'll bring this up and they'll be like, oh, Scorpio, I thought you moved on from that. In which they'll probably be annoyed with you bringing it up again, but at the same time, they will hear you out. To where they would give you their honest opinion. That's what we're looking for at this point. Because it's kind of like, we're not looking to just be like, well, it's there, but what does it matter? We're not, that seems to be this weird, like, you could get stuck in the, yeah, there's a possibility here, but it doesn't even matter. You could get stuck in that energy. I feel like this energy is also kind of like a little of a, like a, I don't know how else to say this. It's a little bit of a shit starter energy sometimes. Sometimes, not always, but it is. Because I feel like this energy is going to be like, well, you want to know, go this far into the situation, see what happens. I feel like they're saying, well, get in there a little bit, find out where it's going. You can always change your mind and walk out. It's like looking at a college. I remember this like when I was in college. You could take a course for, I think it was 2 weeks. I don't know if that's normal or not. And then if it was not for you, you could get out of it. You could cancel out of it without it going against you. So try it. Get in there for a couple weeks. I feel like they're going to give you ideas about how to like get in there and find out, hey, let's find out. Is it real? Did it really get better? Find out. The Wheel of Fortune shows up. Keep in communication with that difficult energy. You may want to literally write things down. What happened? What really happened? Like, write down all the facts that you remember. That way when you come back later, you're like, I remember how I felt about it, but let me see like what I wrote down, what happened. Give it a couple weeks to find out if this really actually does fit what you want it to be versus what it was. This is about you finding out the truth of the situation. You're giving it a chance. You're coming back around anyway. I don't know how it sounds, but I'm going to play with it a little bit. What's real here? What really is holding true? What from the past is still there? What from the past has moved on? Like, what is the new... what are the new parameters of the situation, and how strong are those parameters? Is this energy more flexible than it used to be? Is it less flexible than it used to be? Is it more honorable than it used to be? Is it less honorable than it used to be? Stuff like that. Like, I'm seeing an example, which it was interesting. It was just this one person I knew. Growing up, their parents were very controlling. And this was a very responsible person growing up. But when they got away from their parents and there was living life on their own terms, they weren't completely irresponsible, not like that, but they weren't, it's like how they handled life was so different later. It just, when they got out from under that controlling energy, they completely became a different person. And I remember that just being like interesting. Like, they were still a good person, they were still fun, but like this like need to have everything in its place and at this time and at this regimented way of doing things just seemed to go away. They were still fun, they're still a good person, but they were totally different after that. I just remember seeing the contrast and being blown away by how different they were. And they explained that, like, you know, it's the house they grew up in. They felt like they had to live that way, unless they just had to, so they went along with it. So what does this look like for you? What has stayed and what has gone? And do you like it? Is this right for you? Do you want it? I feel like what they're saying is play with the situation a little bit. I don't know if that sounds a little bit too tongue-in-cheek, but it does seem like they're saying, find out what's really here. Play with it a little bit. Is this something you actually want? Play with it a little bit. Test the situation out. I don't feel bad about that. Like, people, it's not like a game if you're trying to find out if this is worth it for you or not. People get bent out of shape like, well, I don't want to be quizzed or tested about what type of person I am. Well, too bad. Especially if you're going into anything romance or business-wise or any type of something like that, testing the situation to see if it really fits you is not a bad thing. We test each other anyway. It's just some people are more oblivious that they're doing it. If you're actively doing it, I don't think that's a bad thing. If somebody's worth their weight, you might as well know. If you test them on it, you're just going to know this is a good idea for you. You know what I mean? I don't mean test like frivolous, like just like frivolous test. It's like put things out there, see what they do. Give them a chance to do good. See if they do it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't know how it sounds. I don't know if I'm making it sound weird, because I'm getting that the opportunity is there, finding out what this energy really is and how much it really matches your life. It may be better, it may be different, and even though it could be better and different, it still may not be what you want. That's the point. Test it. Find out. Play with it a little bit. It may be better, it may be a good thing, but it still may not be what you want. Or it may be what you want. That's the question for you to find out. You're not going to know if you don't test it. And I don't know, test depends on what you see as valid and not valid, just to be fair. I was going to leave it, but I keep getting like, testing it could literally be where you just get involved with this person and you pull them into situations in your life. It's not like you're setting them up to have issues. You're just bringing them into something you're already dealing with and just seeing how they deal with the same thing you already deal with. That may be the test. It's like, this is what I'm dealing with. Let's see if they step up and help me. And if they do, how do they do that? It's not like we're purposely throwing out landmines in front of this person. It's not like that. Because I feel like it was coming across a little distorted, so I wanted to clear that up a little bit. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.